Hi, my name is Byron Rivers, and today I will be doing my pachacha on how practice make perfect in our modern society today. Practice make perfect means that the more you practice, the better you will become. If you want to become great or master anything in this world, then you should practice it as much as possible. Practicing is a technique that we're introduced to as soon as we are born. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we practice every day of our lives. Like when we are infants, we all go through a common practicing process, crawling before we are able to walk. It is known as having a session or preparation or performance undertaken to gain or polish a skill. Every living person has used some form of practicing. Some common tasks include writing, pronouncing words, driving a car, playing sports, singing in a choir. Almost everything that we do in life, we have some sort of practice in order to accomplish these tasks. We are taught how to write as younger kids as a process to become smarter individuals in the world today. We make habits by practicing normal tasks every day. If we didn't practice our regular everyday skills often, then we would not know how to perform them correctly. As with any skill you will want to learn, practice makes perfect. The more you play the piano, the better your playing will become. Practicing is also a great way not to feel nervous about anything you're about to accomplish. I know this because I practiced presenting this pachacha many times in order to feel comfortable with presenting it to the audience that I needed to. Like in this photo, how the guy is practicing presenting his speech in the mirror of the bathroom. This could bring down anxieties about the presentation he is about to give. It is also very helpful to not make him nervous or anything. Yes, practice. Even Allen Iverson would agree that practice makes you better, even though he gave a memorial interview about not needing practice. The phrase practice make perfect is mainly used within sports. It's not the idea to be perfect at every game you play, but if you play the game how you practice, you will probably play with more intensity. This philosophy is based on the idea that good work ethics in practice produces improvement across a number of areas. Even retired Hall of Famer Michael Jordan practices regularly with his team, the Charlotte Bobcats. He knows how hard it is to win, and he knows how essential good practice is. Most coaches and athletes see practice as an opportunity for the team and its members to get better in all areas or performance. Having a good practice before a game day usually carries over to the game. We can see how the Miami Heat were successful that first year, winning the Eastern Conference, but came up short in the NBA Finals. The more effort you put into practice, the greater your potential for improvement. Kobe Bryant has more faith in his shot than anything. This confidence comes from effective practices. Many athletes and coaches will confirm that the best way to become a better athlete is by practicing and preparing your body to take your performances to new heights. There are many ways you can approach practicing, and the benefits aren't only physical, but you also gain mental aspects of what's going on around you. As you can see how this football team is preparing for the upcoming game by using practice dummies to simulate how defenders will line up so that they will know how to move the ball against the opposing defense when game time arrives. Almost all sports require players to be physically fit to perform requirements of the sport. For example, performing running workouts and conditioning drill during practice can only improve running and conditioning when game day arrives. See how this baseball team is practicing a game time situation so that players will know what to do when the time comes. Look at how this coach is throwing to a batter and simulating a game time situation with a runner on base. The body is quick to adapt to these physical needs, such as the need for increased endurance, and practice can help players develop these aspects of their performance. Practicing also maintains a high physical fitness in athletes and keep them prepared for future games. Wrestling teams constantly practice because of how unique the sport is. Most wrestlers are physically fit, which makes it easier to maneuver around. I haven't heard of any athlete missing a week worth of practice and performing well on game day. As you look, practices allow for coaches to evaluate players and help them get better as they progress. All players are different and have individual skills. Practicing is extremely helpful when dealing with the mental aspects of the game. Mental preparedness plays a large role in an individual athletic success. Peyton Manning is one of the most mentally prepared quarterbacks in the NFL. He uses more audibles than any other quarterback known, mainly because of how he reads the defense and tries to predict what they're going to do. Having the ability to visualize success, such as scoring a touchdown, can help improve self-confidence in an athlete. Being mentally prepared cuts setbacks that can happen when you mentally visualize what you're going to do. This slide shows the tough practices of the great boxer Manny Pacquiao. He is successful because of how he trains and prepares to fight. Using practice sessions to work on these techniques, such as visualizing success and expecting it to come to you, can lead to improvement in improvements in competitive performance. An example is Manchester United team running during practice to stay well conditioned. Being conditioned is not something that you just have to. Being conditioned is not something you just have automatically. You have to practice the concept of conditioning, actually. One sport that does not require for players to be as physically fit or conditioned is golf. Golf players still practice but do not work on muscular activity as much, such as this golfer practicing putting. Practicing gives this golfer advantages of how fast the ball travels on the green and other tips such as playing against wind. The baseball team in this picture is practicing drills before a game so that the fundamentals are not the deciding factor of a close game. You can see as the teams are warming up with easy throwing drills that will help loosen up their arm and prepare them for any oncoming injuries while they're playing. To finish it off, Michael Jordan has always worked hard in his career. Hard work pays off. Michael Jordan probably wouldn't have been holding this championship trophy if it wasn't for how hard he practiced. He practiced how he played, therefore Michael Jordan has become a great player, which shows how hard practice pays off.